All right, here with Churchland football coach Dontrell Leonard. His standout two-way playmaker Brandyn Hillman makes his announcement today, choosing Notre Dame over finalists such as Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Southern Cal. Coach, when we spoke back in the spring and summer, you were one of the first that said, I feel like this kid's as good as anybody in the state. He's been under-recruited, undervalued by people out there across the nation. Well, you were proven right today. He's picking Notre Dame. What's your thought on him going to the Irish?
I'm happy for him. Everything that he's accomplished on and off the football field. He's well deserved, and I've been knew he was going to Notre Dame.
Sure. Well, you guys knew they were probably one of the first that really intensified its pitch. What was it about? I think you were there with him on his unofficial. Was it to South Bend, or was it his official? Official. What was it about Notre Dame that you think makes this such a good fit for him?
The 4 for 40. The 4 for 40 sold me on everything.
The 4 for 40, you
for
said?
their program and their athletes.
Sure. He's a kid that's so unique, and he can play a lot of different positions on the football field. He was a two-time Region Player of the Year on offense at quarterback. He's got the skills. You guys used him some on defense this year. What's his best football trait, in your opinion, for the next level?
His high competitiveness. Was it at a quarterback or at a defensive back? The kid is highly talented. Mm-hmm. He's very, very talented, and there's nothing that he cannot do on the football field.
It's sort of surreal. I'm curious to get his take on this, but for you as a coach, and you played college football, you've coached a lot of good players over the years, both as an assistant coach and now as a head coach at Churchland. He had a Norfolk State offer, didn't have a whole lot of attention, and then it just exploded where he got about 20-plus offers and schools on him. How did you all as coaches help him handle this, and how do you think he dealt with it?
Well, I think, it was overwhelming for him, like it'll be for any, 18-year-old senior kid in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was very overwhelming. So, I just tell them, just weigh out your pros and cons, and the last bit is always see if you can see yourself at that institution if football is not on the table for you.
Mm-hmm. What's sort of the vision in your talks with the coaches there at Notre Dame, Coach Freeman in particular, the head coach? What's sort of their vision and plan with him? What do you see him doing, and what's their kind of vision, if you will?
Well, initially he was come in, play defensive back, and then once they got a hold of his offensive film, then I started hearing from the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator, about him coming up there and playing quarterback at Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. So you could see him kind of being used in sort of that new era of a variety of ways, where he's not just on the field at one position. You can use him to run the ball. You can use him even in some trick plays, special teams type of things, defense. He's got that ability where he can be a multifaceted guy, you think? Or?
Yes, he has all the tools in the toolbox that you'll need for an athlete of his caliber.
I know he's special, but what's this do for Churchland High School and your kids sitting in attendance watching this, the ones that are coming back? Does this give them something they can shoot for, saying, I can make it from Portsmouth if this guy can do it? What's this do for you and your program and the kids watching this?
It's most definitely a program builder, and, our other kids that's returning, they get to see it, that the opportunity could be there for them as well.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, you've coached this kid the last 4 years. He's been pretty much starting since, late freshman year, sophomore year, beginning of that? Mm-hmm. What's Notre Dame getting? What would you tell the fan base they're getting in him on the field, off the field?
They're getting a dynamic athlete, whether he's at quarterback or whether he's at free safety. Hopefully for me, deep down inside, I want to see him succeed behind the center at the collegiate level, at the independent level at Notre Dame. They get to create their own schedule year in and year out, where they're not aligned with a conference schedule.
Yeah, and then the off-the-field piece, is he sort of that natural-born leader, vocal? What are they getting in terms of him, and then what he does away from the gridiron in your eyes?
Oh, yeah, away from the gridiron, Brandon's a big kid, like any other kid, like to joke, like to play, but most definitely he's a leader. He's most definitely a hard worker. You don't have to look at him to work out. You don't have to go tell him to work out. He does all of that on his own.
Thank you so much. All the best.
I appreciate it.